Lion Sight. Services for the blind and visually impaired. Graphic of a lion's head in black and white on a gray background. Hi there, this is Keenan Fry. You heard the intro to the video, so let's just jump into this. We're going to go into Swordsoft Mousetrack. This is software for Windows and Android. This will make the computer more accessible. This software kind of closes the gap between Windows and Mac. There's a lot of features in Swordsoft that you can find in Mac-based apps and so forth. Windows has this sort of alternative to it. So Swordsoft, it's free to use, but if you want to save your settings, which I think your student is going to want to do, you buy a license. It's $6.99. No, I do not get a kickback from Swordsoft. I'm just showing you what they do. So we're going to start off just showing you some basic stuff. I've got a Word document over here, and to my right I have the Swordsoft window. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my basic hotkeys. So I've got one that I just checked, which is live zoom, and you can now see it in effect right now. As I move the cursor around, there's this little window, and the window shows what it is I'm looking at. I'm going to turn that off real quick. I'm going to show you the mouse click. What do you know? The mouse click is flickering. It's got this nice cool little bullseye that shows up every time I click. I'm going to turn that off. I'm now going to start typing into the Microsoft Word document. Hello, my name is Keenan Fry. This is Lion Sight Services. Help! I'm being oppressed. We are the knights who say knee. Okay, so as you saw, I was typing it. I made some typos. The backspace showed up. It shows all the keyboard commands that I'm hitting, regardless of whether it actually shows up in the Word document, right? So I've got lions, and I capitalized it. When I'm hitting the arrow keys, it's showing that. So these are all things that, combined with voiceover features, are really useful, because what you would do is have your students' voiceover features on and they're hearing it, but then you can also see their keyboard commands, what it is they're striking. And then also, because I'm recording this, you can see my keyboard commands on that bottom ribbon. So it's really useful for me teaching keyboard commands and recording the commands. Next, I'm going to just show you some basic stuff. Live zoom, I'm going to turn on my live zoom. So again, if you buy the license, you can save these hotkeys in here. Let's jump into live zoom. So now live zoom is on. I'm now going to change the height and make it 200. Now it is not as big. Also, so I made the height not as tall. I can make the width, whatever. I can change the amount I zoom to, 100, or I can make it, 500 and make it like super duper zoomed in, but 200 seems okay. And then I can do this. I can turn off the floating menu, and now it's fixed in the corner. So this is a way where you can kind of like somewhat partition a screen. Like, for example, if I wanted to keep this at 400, but I wanted the height to be, so it'll do about 600. That's not so bad. And that gets all of this stuff in here. So you can play around with the size of the floating window, or you can have it be fixed in the corner. Mouse click, this is useful. I'm going to jump into this real quick. This just lets you change. So I'm going to do Control-Shift-C. Now it's on. That changes the click. I can change the type from a circle to a wave. I can make it extra large or small. I can change the color. I've got a red one for left click, a blue one for the middle click on the scroll wheel, and the right click is green. I can do a few little things like that. And then the keystroke, this is for the ribbon at the bottom. I can change the font. I can change the size of the font. I can change how long it stays up before it fades out, how long it stays up before the new line of text shows up. So that's the refresh rate when new text shows up. Change the font and all that stuff. So you should watch Monty Python's Holy Grail. It's really funny. So that stays up for 5 seconds. Enter a new line and it refresh. So the ribbon stays up for 5 seconds, but the refresh when the next line is typed, the next series of text is typed, that's in every half second. So those are some basic features of Swordsoft, and it kind of stacks very well on top of what's native in Windows accessibility, but it just kind of does some other things as well that, you know, I think Windows should have built in, but this kind of fills in those gaps. I really like the banner. I really think that's useful, and I think there's a way to export the text from the banner. With that said, thank you for your time. I appreciate this. This was just a little quick tip, and I'll see you in the future. Lion's Site. Regular updates on blind and visually impaired tutorials will be available for all kinds of topics. Thanks for watching.